that you fought the battle for 12 months with the devil and you overcame by his holy name. And you overcame by his holy name. And you overcame by his holy name. Let the word of your mouth, meditations of your heart be accepted. Yahweh Elohim, Yeshua the Messiah. Amen. And everybody say, Amen. And everybody say, Amen. And everybody say, windows of heavens are open.
Power of hell is moving. Yeshua the Son is here. He will baptize every soul. Windows of heavens are open. Power of hell is Yeshua the Son is here. He will baptize every soul. The windows of heavens are open. The power of hell is moving. Yeshua the Son is here. He will baptize every soul.
Thank you very much. Sit down. On behalf of the Council of Divinity that meets in the Parliament of the moment, I want to welcome you to his presence. At this time, that you will cross into the new year. I give thanks on your behalf that you escape all the ambushes. That every bad thing that happens, the year 2021, Father in heaven made it possible. And by what the heaven has told us, there is some more thing to escape. That was why we were told, escaping sorrow 2022. Because there shall be sorrow as never before. We took our time before now to explain a little bit about the personality of sorrow. And you have to congratulate yourself. As much as you are that the heaven has ordained for this movement. Both you that are seated here and those that we watch all over the world, I congratulate you. I will read the book of Isaiah 53, verse 1 to 5. Isaiah 53, verse 1 to 5. No evil shall fall on you. Amen. No evil shall fall on you. Amen. No evil shall fall on you. No evil shall fall on you. Amen. Say amen 3 times. Amen. 2. Amen. Number 3. Amen. Isaiah 53, verse 1 to 5. Who had believed our reports, and to whom the arm of Yahweh is revealed. For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and in its root out of the dry ground. He has no form or comeliness. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief, and with hide, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteem him not. Surely he has borne our pains and carried our diseases. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Elohim, and afflicted. He was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripe we are healed. These quotations of the Bible is often misunderstood, even misquoted by so many human beings and preachers. Haven't demystified or tried to demystify sorrow. And in this passage, we were told that he's a man of sorrow. That is, even as a son of Yahweh Elohim, he did not escape the feel of sorrow. As you heard in the explanation of sorrow, sorrow is a feeling. That's why it's called a feeling of deep distress. But you know, by what we have also said, explained about sorrow, sorrow actually handed him over to resurrection. And you know, he will never explain sorrow anymore. It's as simple as that. Sorrow handed him over to resurrection. Never to experience sorrow anymore. All these things that were written in Isaiah 53, some people use it like a magic wand, as if it is invocation, without the understanding of what they are reading. The actual understanding of Isaiah 53 verse 1 to 5 is simply that before now, it is very difficult to be delivered from sorrow and from the hand of sorrow. When sorrow catch up, with man, when sorrow catch up with man, he dies sorrowing. There is no opportunity to come out. There is no opportunity for man to be delivered from sorrow at all. When we were trying to explain the spirit of destruction, I said, if heaven asked me to choose which one to fight, between the spirit of death and the spirit of destruction, I would rather choose to fight the spirit of death. Because to fight the spirit of death is very straightforward. Because the spirit of destruction is complex. But in this case, when sorrow hold grip on humankind, it becomes difficult for man to be delivered from sorrow. Until Yeshua was sent to pass through what Isaiah wrote in Isaiah 53, verse 1 to 5 that we have just read. If he did not pass through it, if he did not pass through sorrow and all the things that were written in Isaiah 53, verse 1 to 5, it will be very difficult for a man to come out of sorrow. And that became one of the important work of salvation. Bringing man out of sorrow. Bringing man out of sorrow. Because he passed through it, it now opened up the opportunity for man to be able to come out of sorrow. That is to say, from the time of Adam to the time of Yeshua, or from the time of Adam to the time of John the Baptist, man cannot be delivered from sorrow. Man has not been delivered from sorrow. Man cannot come out of sorrow. Something is worrying man, but man will not be able to explain what is worrying him, but he is dying. As you heard, sorrow will hold you captive, but he will project something else. You will not have an idea of what is holding you. But when the salvation carrier passes through this, it opens the channel of liberty. And this channel of liberty is not automatic. That when people read this Isaiah 53, they read it as if it is automatic. If you notice, that passage started with something that every preacher ignores. It started with, who have believed our report. It is being reported that the salvation carrier has passed through sorrow, just as he experienced death on behalf of humankind. He must also experience sorrow on behalf of humankind, so that humankind will be able to come out of sorrow, so that humankind will be able to be delivered from sorrow. So that means before now, from Adam to John the Baptist, no matter what you do, no matter the prophet you contacted and consulted, whatever they will tell you, it will not be able to bring you out of sorrow. That was what made me to say to you, when Adam left the garden, he died in sorrow and not comforted at all. So when a man is in sorrow, what he needs is to be comforted. But when sorrow holds a man, and there is no comfort that is coming from anywhere, so it means something urgent must be done, which was actually done. The Son of Yahweh Elohim came, just as he must experience death on behalf of humankind, he experienced sorrow, so that man can now be delivered from sorrow. It does not mean that sorrow will no longer catch man. Sorrow will be catching men. But when a man is favored to be delivered from sorrow, then, just as Yeshua was delivered from sorrow by the power of resurrection, and our sorrow handed him over to resurrection, because he was actually going to the point of death and to the point of burial before resurrection. So sorrow hand him over to resurrection. But in your own time, as a beneficiary of salvation, when sorrow leaves you, say, sorrow leave me.
Sorrow leave me.
When sorrow leaves you, it hands you over to liberty. And I have repeated this again and again. Once sorrow leaves you, it's not coming back. To get sorrow to leave you is the issue. And to make the power of redemption and of salvation to work for you. See, to make power of salvation and redemption to work for people is not as easy as Christians take it. That is why it looks as if majority confess, I am born again, I am born again, I am born again. And you live so many years with the experience of the so-called born again and with all the seriousness and commitment. Still, your old life is still rearing ugly head. Your old experience of poverty, of disaster, is still rearing with all the categories of deliverance. That alone is enough to tell intelligent people that the salvation we talk about is not as easy as that. But once a man is confirmed to be saved, just as you will discover soon in some of our book that will come out, once a man is discovered to be saved, the man is available to be delivered from sorrow, to be saved properly first. Then you are now ready to be delivered from sorrow. And once sorrow leaves you, it's not coming back. I want this to get into you, because the year that is coming is not good. 2022 is not good. You want your father to tell you what is ahead, and then we are telling you what is ahead now. Prepare for it. The year that is coming, 2022, not good. If you are in fry pan in 2001, it is fire in 2022. So the fire that will burn and burn people to ashes in 2022, your father need to begin to quench it on your behalf. Starting from now. Can somebody say, fire, Father, quench the fire? How about, Father, quench the fire? Say very well. You are not serious. You are not serious. You are not serious. The fire that we burn people's destiny, burn people's future, burn people's hope, burn people's life. It's too much. And your father need to get set now to put up the fire on your behalf. Abba, Father, put up the fire. Let the Father put up the fire on your behalf. And the Father shall put up the fire on your behalf. Stand up. And the Father shall put up the fire on your behalf. And that is what your Father needs to do for you. And that is what your Father needs to do for those people that like you.